My name is Dana J. Smithers, and I am a certified emotion code practitioner. And today I'm working with Linda Kranich, who is an entrepreneur. Linda has a few businesses. One is a new one that she's just starting. And what we're going to do today is I'd like to just demonstrate what it's like to go through doing an emotion code session with someone, which I usually do over Blue Jeans or Skype or Facebook. There's so many different WhatsApp, there's so many apps or whatever that you can get now and have a very live conversation. So in order to start the process, what I need to do is, and I've already done this, the first thing that I do is I ask permission. So I've asked Linda, she's agreed, she stepped up, I really appreciate that. The next thing I need to do is I need to become her proxy. So I have to ask her permission. So Linda, I'm going to ask you that right now. Do I have permission to become your proxy?
Yes, you do, Dana.
All right. And so the reason that I do that is since Linda's not here with me, I can't do what's called muscle testing to find out whether the subconscious is giving me a true yes or no. So I become that proxy, and I will do that in a minute, but I'm just asking the questions first. So Linda, we were talking a little bit earlier, and you said that you feel like you're in a little bit of chaos and flux right now, and that's pretty typical for entrepreneurs. So you've got a new website under construction, you said. Um, you've got some emotional stuff going on, which we all have in life, right? And you feel like you're busy, you're working, but not really moving forward. And your one business is in natural health, and your other business, Sacred Gifts, is in spiritual well-being. So on a scale of 1 to 10, we call this the severity test. So 10 being high, how do you feel like, is this like really, really bothering you and it's stressful and it's like, wow, I'd really, really like to just get everything, all my ducks in a row and moving forward with a good energy for that.
Yes, absolutely. I feel like I've been stuck in around an 8 for quite a bit of time.
Okay, excellent. So what I'm going to do, your conscious is saying it's an 8, but I'm going to check in with that subconscious once I become your proxy and find out if it's an 8, 9, or 10, or just what it is. So how I'm going to do that is through what's called muscle testing. So Dr. Bradley Nelson is the program creator, and he's created a chart called the Emotion Code Chart. It's got 60 emotions. So when I start tapping in, I can only ask yes or no questions to the subconscious. So I'm going to ask, is this trapped emotion in column A or is it in column B? And then I'm going to ask the question, is it in an even row or an odd row? And there's 6 rows and 2 columns. So once I get, let's say it says, well, it's column B, column B, row 2. So I look at the 5 trapped emotions in there, and I'm going to go and ask each one, is it failure? Is it helplessness, hopelessness, lack of control, or a low self-esteem? So I will get a yes on one of those. And what I do is muscle test. So the way I do it, Dr. Brad has lots in his book, but I've just put my index and thumb together and my middle and index finger on my other hand, and that's a yes if it's that emotion, and that's a no. So I do it fairly quickly. I do yes, no, yes, no. And once I become Linda's proxy, which I'll do in a minute, then I will actually do the muscle testing. So when I get to a particular trapped emotion on this chart, what I'm going to do is release it by using a magnet. So there's all of these energy centers are based on Chinese medicine from thousands and thousands and thousands of years ago. And you know what? It could be even further down the line, something that's not actually documented because energy has been, well, around forever, right? Right? I mean, we're energy, we're all about energy, right? So what the magnets do, these are hematite that I use, and they're good for just getting rid of negative energy as well. But I work with the governing meridian, which is just above my lip. And if Linda was here, in order to demagnetize that emotion, I would run it from the tip of her lip all the way down to the base of her spine. But since she's not here, I just do 3 swipes like that to the very back of my neck. And then I just ask the question, did I release it? And then I get a yes or a no answer. So that's what I'm doing. I'm demagnetizing that energy from that emotion. Now, the same emotion may come up several times. And what the reason for that is because these trapped emotions are here from conception to where you are right now. And Linda, you disclosed that you were 69, you're gorgeous, you're youthful looking, and you and I were having the conversation. It's just a number. And so, it's all about the energy, right? You're doing things in your life that you love, you're moving forward, you're active. I was looking at your Facebook page, you got lots of good stuff going on, you're surrounded by lots of good women, you've got nice family relations. So all of that is what keeps us youthful. Along with, you have a product that's good for natural health, and all of these things. Something as simple as drinking water. I see Linda's got her bottle there too.
Yeah. Cheers.
Yeah, cheers. We need to drink a lot of water. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to just become your proxy. So I'm just going to ask that question. And just prior to our meeting, I have a prayer that I like to do. I say that with the person that I'm working with, but I'm not going to do it on this video this time. But I have done it. I'm connected. I've already done some Reiki this morning as well. So I'm very connected to Source. So not wanting my ego or my ideas or my opinions to get in the way at all. So now I'm just going to become Linda's proxy. So I'm just asking the question. I'm just going to stop talking for a minute. All right. Okay, that was quick, so I've got a good connection there. So the first question that I'm going to ask is, so now I'm Linda, I'm asking the question. I say to myself, do I want to be successful? Oh, okay. So do I want to be successful? Now remember, I'm dealing with your subconscious. Conscious, you could say, yeah, want to be, want to do this, want to do that. Your subconscious just gave me a no when I asked, do I want to be successful? So what I do next is then I say, well, what are the trapped emotions that are blocking me from wanting to feel successful? So that's a question, right? So now I ask, is it in column A? It's in A. Is it even? No, it's odd. So I ask, is it 1? Is it 3? Is it 5? It's 3. And so what I'm going to do, it's 3 right there, 3A. So I'm going to ask, I will ask the subconscious, is it crying? Is it discouragement? Is it rejection? Is it sadness? Is it sorrow? So I'm just going to tap in there and say, is one of the trapped emotions that's blocking me from wanting to be successful crying? No. Is it discouragement? Yeah, I've got to click on discouragement. I'll see if there's any other. Is discouragement? Is it rejection? No. Is it sadness? Is it sorrow? Okay, so it's discouragement. I get a nice tight yes on discouragement. So then I ask the question, do I need to know anything more? And this time I don't. I get a no. Sometimes I'll be prompted, and that's why I need to know your age. So I just get a no on that. All right. Discouragement. All right. May I release it? So I get a yes. So then I just do this 3 swipes of the magnet, and I'm releasing that trapped emotion from discouragement. And I'm just going to write it down. Now, what can happen when the same emotion comes up a few times? It's because from conception to now, from then to 69, that trapped emotion could get trapped over and over and over in different circumstances. Until it's released, it's still there. So it may come up again. Now, I didn't need to know when this got trapped because it said, no, I don't need to know anymore. So I'm just going to keep going and just see what else comes up then. So are there any others that I can release? Oh, you know what I need to do? So on the severity, sorry, I forgot that. So you said it was an 8. Is it the severity of how I'm really feeling about this? I want to move forward. I feel a bit stuck. Website's not quite working. Is it 8, 9? No, it's a 10. It's a 10. So your subconscious is yeah, but we'll get that down. All right. Okay. Are there others? Yes. Are they an 8? No, they're B. Even? No, they're odd. They're 1, they're 3, they're 5. 5. And so now the emotions I have in 5 are, is it conflict? Creative insecurity. I don't even have to go any further because it's just tight on that. Creative insecurity, terror, unsupported, wishy-washy. Okay, so when there are two trapped emotions together, we call it psychic trauma. So creative security was one, trapped emotion of creative security, but I also feel it is wishy-washy. Is it wishy-washy? No, it's not. It's not coming up wishy-washy this time. Is it unsupported? No. Okay, so it's just creative insecurity. I'm going to ask the question, do I need to know more? So now it's saying I do need to know more. So this is where I work with your age. So I'm going to ask the question, so did this trapped emotions of creative insecurity happen between 59 and 69? No. 49 and 59. Okay, so did it happen between 49 and 51? 55? No. Did it happen between 55 and 59? Yes. Okay. Okay. Around 56, 57, some creative insecurity happened then. Now, when I'm working with someone, some people right away will remember something that happened. It's not important. I don't need to know the story. You don't need to repeat the story unless something just pops up and it's like, oh yeah, creative insecurity. So this is at a time in your life, and it could be business insecurity. It could be job creative insecurity. So anything come up for you between those ages that you can think of, 56, 57?
There were a lot of things going on in my life at that time, but I can't pinpoint one particular thing.
Okay, so I'll just ask if I need to know any more about it. Then it's saying, no, I don't need to know any more. Sometimes I'll get prompted to ask specific questions, but we're good with that. All right. Are there any other trapped emotions that I can release at this time that are preventing me to feel successful? No. Okay, so that's just a few. We'll just go ahead with that. So I'm going to go on to the next question. So the next question is it safe for me to be a successful entrepreneur? Okay, so good. Got a nice yes on that. So I don't have to ask any more on that. The next question I'm going to ask is, am I worthy to be successful? Am I worthy to be successful? So this is a subconscious. This is a lot with entrepreneurs, is the worthiness. So yeah, so let's just see what we have here. All right, are there trapped emotions I can release so that I will feel more worthy? Yes. Are they in column A? No, they're in B. Are they even? No, they're odd. They're odd. They're one. So I have effort unreceived. We'll see if is it effort unreceived where I don't feel worthy. Effort unreceived is one. Okay, is it heartache? No. Insecurity? No. Overjoy? No. Vulnerability. So these two together, effort unreceived and vulnerability, they're what we call a psychic trauma. So it's kind of like two trapped together. So they're a little bit stronger in your body. And sometimes this is why we have migraines or physical pain, aches in our body or arthritis or any of these things, right? These are called, my opinion, and Dr. Brad's, that these are trapped emotions. So effort unreceived and vulnerability to psychic trauma. Can I release this? Yes. Do I need to know more? So I don't have to know any more. I don't have to ask any questions. I'm just going to go ahead and release it. So I do the 3 swipes of a magnet. So far, we haven't had anything inherited. Emotions can be inherited from your mother's side or your father's side, but nothing's come up yet. So am I worthy? Are there other emotions that I can release that will allow me to know that I am worthy? Yes. Are they an A? They're an A. They're even this time. 2, 4, 6, 2, 6, 4. Okay, 4. So the trapped emotions here are anger, bitterness, guilt, hatred, or resentment. Anger, bitterness, guilt. Guilt. Okay. So there's the trapped emotion of guilt. I'll just see if do I need to know more? I don't need to know any more about it, so I'm just going to go ahead and release it. And this is where, obviously, too, if I was doing this privately, I might ask if anything comes up around certain things, but we'll just move on with it because it says it's ready to be released. Anything else that's preventing me or feeling worthy about me being a massively successful entrepreneur? Yes. Are they an A? No, they'll be again even this time. So it's 2, 4, 6. It's 4. Is it the trapped emotion of depression, frustration, indecisiveness, panic, taken for granted? Taken for granted. Taken for granted. So any comment on that, Linda?
Yeah, it's one that I feel a lot.
Okay, okay, all right. So I'm just going to see if
Yeah.
do I need to know any more? I don't need to know any more, so I can just release it. I'll just go ahead and release that trapped emotion of feeling taken for granted. I'll release that. Do I have other trapped emotions that are preventing me from feeling worthy? Yes, they're an A and they're even. A and they're even. Okay, it's 2, it's 4, it's 6. 6 this time. It's 6. So we have, is it the trapped emotion of humiliation, jealousy, longing, lust, or overwhelm? Overwhelm here for you. Just feeling a bit of overwhelm. All right. Do I need to know more? I need to know more. So I'm going to start with your age again. So did this trapped emotion of overwhelm happen between 59 and 69? No. 49 and 49 and 59? No. 39 and 49. Okay. So 39 to 49, 39 to 45? No. 6 or 6 or 7 or 6 or 7. 46, 47. So what Dr. Brad says is when we get an age, it can be a year before or a year after. So feeling overwhelmed at 46 and 47. Does anything come up for you around that, Linda?
Yes.
Okay. And I'm just gonna.
Painful.
Oh.
Yeah, it's painful. It's when my sister died, and I had to become the eldest in the family. And I took on a lot of responsibility for my parents' grief and helping them get through with it and looking after them and my family as well.
Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that. And I also, um, when there's strong emotions like that, I also feel them, so I can get very teary in a session as well. But what I'm going to do as well, Linda, is I'm going to do.
Not afraid to get teary. You'll notice that.
I'm going to do a Reiki session for you after.
Okay.
And especially when we've had an emotional session, and I'll talk a little bit about that after. So let's just get rid. Can we release this overwhelm? Yes, we can. So let's just go ahead and release that trapped emotion of overwhelm. All right, did we release it? Yes. Okay. Are there any more that are blocking us from feeling worthy about this adventure that I have going on in my life as an entrepreneur? Yes, they're in A. No, they're in B. They're even. 6. So I've got pride, shame, shock, unworthy, worthless. So let me just do that. So shame and shock. So this is another psychic trauma where the two of them are together, shame and shock. I'll just ask, do I need to know any more? I don't need to know any more. So again, if this was a private session, I might ask you about that if you wanted to disclose anything, but I'm just going to get rid of it for you, okay? Shame and shock. Let's just get rid of that. All right. Are there any more that are trapping me from feeling worthy about this business adventure, that I'm an amazingly successful entrepreneur? No? Okay, so I'm just going to move on from that. But what I want to do here is just a quick chakra check. Because for most entrepreneurs, the chakras that are blocked when we want to move forward often are the throat, the solar plexus, which is our power center. So this is where all our confidence is, right? And then the sacral area. So those are our gut feeling. How do we feel about moving forward? And, if you don't feel good, that's law of attraction, right? Then what you attract more is more of those not good feelings. So I'm just going to check your chakras quickly here. So do I have any blocked emotions in my chakras that are preventing me from moving forward in the time frame that I'd like and feeling good about my business? Yes, I do. Okay. Is it the crown? No. Is it the third eye? No. Is it throat? Okay. Throat is one. Is it the throat? All right. Is it my heart? No. Is my solar plexus? Yes. Okay. Is it my sacral? No, not your sacral. So just your solar plexus. And is it my root? Oh, and it's your root as well. So yeah, your throat is your communication, speaking your truth, saying what you need to say, right? And this can be about boundaries or what you need to say to some of those website people or whatever, wherever you feel you're being held back. So the solar plexus are where that confidence comes from, right? That That's where we're strong and we're powerful. The root chakra is all about security and feeling grounded. So I suspect that you're feeling a little bit wobbly right now in your business. Like you said, you're not quite in the flow, so that would give you some instability there. So I'm just quickly, just because we're not doing a full session here, but let me just go and see what's in the throat chakra. What trapped emotions can I release in the throat chakra? Are they an A? No, they're B. Even though they're odd. 5. So I'm just going to go ahead and see what I'm told. So first one that comes up is confusion. Trapped emotion, feeling a little bit confused. Can I release it? Yeah, let's just go ahead and get rid of that. Releasing that trapped emotion of confusion. All right, did we release it? Yes. Are there others in my throat chakra area that I can release at this time? Yes. Are they A? No, they're B. They're even 6 and 1. So pride comes up there, trapped emotion of pride. So in the case of pride, sometimes it's just feeling too proud to ask for help, or saying, you know what, this is more difficult than I thought it would be. There's nothing wrong with saying that, right? It's pretty typical conversation in your head for an entrepreneur.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
All right, so trapped emotion of pride. So okay, release it. Yeah. Go ahead and release that for you. Trapped emotion of pride. Okay. Are there any more in the throat at this time? No. So at this time, what can I release in the solar plexus area that are preventing me from moving forward, being a fabulous entrepreneur? Are they an A? No, they're B. Even? No, they're odd. They're 1, they're 3, they're 5. 5 and 2. Okay, so again, creative insecurity comes up. Remember, I mentioned that sometimes it'll come up again. So I think this is around your website. That it's how you want it to look, but it's also your content, what you need to get together, how creative you want it to be. So, you know, working with that web developer and yourself, there are definitely some blocks there. So let's just release. Yeah. Okay. Do I need to know more? I don't need to know any more. May I release the creative insecurity around this website? Yes. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and do that for you. All right. Are there any more in the solar plexus that I can release? So I'm saying at this time, right? Because again, this is a shorter session than what I would do, but at this time. So I'm getting a no on that. And then the last question that I'm going to ask is, I do actually sessions around abundance and money and all of that. So I'm just going to ask the question: do I have a ceiling on how much money? Do I have a ceiling on how much money I can earn? I do. Okay. So when you have a ceiling, you're actually preventing yourself from the abundance that the universe is willing to offer you. So I just invite you to take a look at that. Maybe forget about, well, you know, I'd like to make this much money, or this would be great. Just go for it, right? Just say, I always say, you know, if it's a certain amount, let's say it's, you know, say it's new, starting out in business, you're growing things, maybe it's $5,000 a month. I always say, well, $5,000 a month or more, whatever the universe would like, or more, right? I always, if I'm writing it, I always put plus, right? So you can set some of those goals, which probably you're doing with your coach anyway, but let's just see if there's, if I can release any trapped emotions around this money ceiling. Yes, I can. Okay, are they an A? No, they're B. Even though they're odd. 5 and 3. So again, the trapped emotion is coming up. You've had it is shock. So something somewhere along having to do with money and your life and your abundance, you had a shock. So that shock emotion is preventing you from attracting what you want. So may I release it? Yes. Okay. Well, I just asked, do I need to know more? No, I don't need to know any more. I'm going to release that for you. Okay, releasing that trapped emotion of shock. All right, did I release it? Yes. Are there more that I need to remove from me having a money ceiling? Oh, okay, so that's no at this time. And the reason that a no can come up is with the emotion code, the thing that's going to happen now, I'm just going to close off the session. And in fact, I'm going to become, I'm going to check with the severity of it. So we are at a 10. So how do you feel right now, Linda? Do you notice any change in how you're feeling?
Yeah, I do. I feel lighter and I feel validation for what I have been internalizing.
Okay, very good. Yeah. The word I hear the
Yeah.
most is lighter, and I think that's because you stepped up. I appreciate it so much, but you're giving the universe a big message. It's like, hey,
Yes.
my intention is to have a successful business. You love the products that you've got, the true, you're an entrepreneur in that, you're a big part of that, and you've taken the Sacred Gifts course, so you want to reach out and guide people through that so that they can feel more on purpose in their life. So those are very noble things in your life. And since I know that, you've gone through the program as well, that you understand that when we're doing things that we love, we just feel better, right? Life just feels better. And we have more direction. So just know that your website will get done, that whatever blocks were there, we've removed some of them. And yeah, so I'm just going to check on we'll just see what how the 10 severity, what it's at, rating at right now. So feeling better. So 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Okay, so it's down to a 2, which is most excellent. And as I say, this is, a little bit shorter session than I normally do. Getting it down to 0 is a good, but, it's good. I mean, it's a number, but I always think it's about how you feel. So, as I said, I'm going to go ahead and do a Reiki session for you. And usually what I do and how I do that is I'm going to ask you now to just sit down for about 10 minutes in a quiet space. And I'm going to do what's called distant Reiki. So how I do that is I often, the person's not here with me. I do this a lot with animals as well and with people. But what I do is I just get some pictures of you. So I just took these off your website.
And beautiful dark hair then.
yeah, different looks, right? And what I do is I just hold this picture in my hands. I also use some crystals. And I'll just sit with it. I'm just going to send some good vibes, good intention, and allow the Reiki life force energy to flow through me, through you. Reiki goes through all time, space, and dimension. So piece of paper or you real here in front of me, it doesn't matter. It doesn't work that way. Same with the emotion code, right? It's all energy healing. So that's how it works. So I'm just going to go ahead and just make sure that I've disconnected from you. Okay, I'm back to being down. Because as a motion code practitioner, if I was working with someone who was very, very depressed or just really lots of things going on in their life, I don't want to carry that around with me. So I just do the disconnect, and it's very easy to do with emotion code. And with Reiki, it doesn't really operate that way. I'm just getting connected to source, and I'm offering that through my hands, and whether or not a person or an animal can receive it is entirely up to them. But I do let people know if I'm doing a session, and I like to do a session after emotion code because I think it just sort of makes it nice, and I'll just sit quietly and send more love and prayers to you. And so how you will process this over the next little while will be entirely up to you. We hit a few spots today that brought up some emotion. So I have to say to people, make sure you drink lots of water. Another good thing to do is also to run cold water under your hands because that will ground you. That. And then just, you don't have to go through the session in your mind or anything. Just relax, love yourself. It's always good to get out in nature if you can, get your feet on the ground, or just look at nature, right? Whatever feels good to you, or if it's a nice cup of tea, whatever it is, then just go ahead and do that. Yeah. So, Linda, I appreciate this so much. I really love doing this work, and I know it has amazing results. So I'll be checking in with you just to see how this did go for you. So anything that you'd like to say about the experience, because I believe this was your first time as well.
Yes, it was an amazing experience, and I feel blessed and honored to be doing this with you because I have watched you a couple of times online, and so thank you for reaching out to me and allowing me to help you. And I know that on my spiritual and wellness journey that any love and light you can send to me is certainly welcome. And
Absolutely. And you know, we're very connected. Those of us that recognize we're on a spiritual journey, we're all connected. So
yeah,
wherever we are, you know, sometimes you can even just think about a person and just feel that connection. And I always say if somebody comes to mind, to me that's law of attraction. So just send them some light or love or whatever it is you need
yeah.
to do. Yeah. So people can find Linda at lindakranich.ca. You can find me at danasmithers.com/emotion-code. Also, every Wednesday, I become a different person. I am one of the Emotion Code divas. So Helena Jenikin and I do a show every Wednesday at 9:30. It's Facebook Live, so you can find that at facebook.com/TEC Divas. And we love to have viewers step up. We work on people every session. So if you're interested, just see what it is that we're talking about that week. So that's it for now. Thanks so much.